thank you everyone for coming. And you know, this is what community looks like, right? When we come together to really serve our friends and neighbors, is really bringing practical resources to our community. Everybody needs water. And so when we can find solutions to create sustainable solutions, healthy solutions in our community, that's the best win-win for all of us. And so here at the Los Angeles Mission, when the supervisor's office approached us and said, hey, we have an idea, we want to partner with you, would you be open to do that? Of course we jumped at it. Such leadership under Supervisor Solis for really saying, hey, look, this is what's needed. And so I want to also welcome everybody here today and thank you for just coming. And so I want to bring the supervisor up to give some remarks, and I'll come back and close out, but I just want to thank you guys for coming today. Oh yeah, we got other people. Let them go first. Okay, we do what you would like, Supervisor. We will adjust the agenda. Okay, so really, the water box is the brainchild of an amazing human being. It's Drew. We want to have Drew here today, and so there you go, right there. And so Drew, we want to have Drew come up and talk a little bit about the water box. And so Drew Fitzgerald.
Thank you, everyone. This is not an endeavor of an individual. There's a great group that we have at waterbox.org, and I'm so honored to see this here. You know, I don't know if you know, the origin of the waterbox really came from a trip we took to Flint, Michigan. And we were in Flint, and we knew that if you wanted to help in Flint and you come from far away, you don't want to roll in and take a selfie and post something on Instagram and then say, I'm out. You know, we went in there very, very quietly, and we were seeing how people 5 years after the tragedy were dealing with this. And the only way that there was still trust in that community was through the faith-based community. And so me, just kind of a little white boy from upstate New York, became very good friends with the deacons and the First Lady of First Trinity Baptist Church in Flint, Michigan. And they took us under our wing, and we sat and quietly observed how they were getting by, and it wasn't good. There were pallets and pallets and pallets of water. It's just expensive. It's freezing. These are deacons in the church that just want to play with their grandchildren, and they have to put on onesies and run forklifts to continue to be the only people of trust in the community. And so we went away after we observed how they're doing it. We went to our shop in Michigan, and we designed this water box. And it's been a wild hit. And the thing about you maybe don't know, if you open the back of it, this is not a very complicated machine. There's no intellectual property. This isn't a for-profit business. This was designed intentionally, empirically, so that, for instance, an 11th grade or 12th grade STEM class could build it with a little bit of tutelage. And we've had inquiries from Taiwan, Malaysia. We're doing a call next week with leadership, get this, in the Democratic Republic of Congo about setting up a STEM program for their particular needs over there in sub-Saharan Africa. One of the things that we realized, we have 21 of these water boxes, and where water is most fragile and people are marginalized are BIPOC communities, right? So we have 4 boxes in Jackson, Mississippi. I don't know if you watch around Jackson. Urban Jackson, it's a water nightmare. Rural Mississippi, it's not. It's just about investment in the community and the infrastructure or lack thereof. And so one of the most important things about this, even though it's a hardware and a bit of a software solution, is it's a solution to put control back in the hands of the people who's drinking the water, right? And so we quickly learned that while in Flint was a water quality issue, for sure, we all know about that, it's global news, but down here in a lot of parts of west of the Mississippi is the water access issue, right? And so this is our 3rd box on Skid Row, and when we had originally started to look at Skid Row, we made the probably important step of coming down in the middle of August, and it was hot as Hades down here. We all know the term heat island. And so one of the things, you know, in Flint, it's not hot, you know, so the water was coming out room temperature. So we went back and we put a chiller on here so that the dignity of water is not dignified if it's 105 degrees out. I'm drinking ambient temperature water. It's almost an insult, right? So we made it so that these boxes can pull out cold water, particularly in an environment like hot LA. And I think that crisis in terms of the homeless crisis and the temperature and the water access issue was when your office reached out to us. So we're really honored to be here. We really want to obviously thank you, Supervisor, and your team has been utmost professional, and really their hearts are there, and they really want to see this through. And we have about 50 partners across America, nonprofits, corporates, churches, boys and girls clubs, and we collect them like friends. And we see where else they need. We are working on a food desert in Flint. We wouldn't know there was a food desert unless we put a water box in a food desert. So you start to, it's kind of like a Trojan horse for impact. You come in and you say, well, what else do you need? You need clothes, you need shoes, you're a partner, you're a friend, you're in the water box community. So I want to thank Servcon, SoCal Gas, obviously your office, and the work you guys, the Lord's work you guys do every day. So I'm very honored. And if you don't know, you basically can just come up and grab a 5-gallon jug. We also have 2 gallons because these get really heavy. Sorry. In Flint, they drive, so 5 gallons work. But walking around, 5 gallons don't work. It's cumbersome. But you can also come right here, and this takes everything out of water that you could have possibly want. So that's it, and thank you for having us, and I'm glad to be part of the LA Mission family.
Thank you so much. And next we would like to welcome Michael Medizian from Servcon.
Thank you, and thank you, Supervisor Solis, for making this happen with matching funds, and it's very important. Servcon, if you don't know, is a company celebrating its 50th anniversary this year that is doing janitorial, environmental services, and other building services for many different facilities, hospitals and medical centers, aerospace companies, and municipalities. And we're doing pretty well, and we decided it was time to give back, and we formed a donor-advised fund called Servcon Cares, which is looking at giving to those in need, social justice and equity firms, and do as much as we can to help those in need. We're really excited about this. This is very important, particularly for people that are vulnerable, the unhoused, and this is vital to have pure water, healthy water, and everybody deserves it. Everybody deserves access to it, and the fact that it's happening for the first time here is really incredible. So I just want to thank you again for everything you're doing, and we're glad to be part of it.
Thank you. And Supervisor Solis, would you like to come? Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone, and buenas tardes. It's great to be here. And it's funny that we're talking about water, right? Because for the last few days we've been inundated. I mean, more than I think even Moses and, come on, you go way back in biblical times. But water is precious, and water is life. And I'm just so happy that I could be here today to see the progress made. This took a while to get off the ground for us. The county doesn't normally do this kind of thing. We usually you contract it out or whatever. But I'm the kind of person who likes to get my hands, I don't want to say dirty, but I like to get in there, and I want to see and feel what is going on. And I had my staff tell me about this project, and I was just very excited to hear about how we could provide such a essential ingredient to life for people so they could have dignity. And during August and the summer months, and we've been going through this terrible drought here in Southern California for a number of years, and we know that we have deserts right here in urban places like Skid Row, in parts of my district that I represent, in East LA, in the San Gabriel Valley, where people don't readily have cool water and clean water. So I call sometimes our own areas Little Flint, because we have places in this district where people's water has color. It's yellow, it's orange, there's chemicals and other things that are in there. And I worry about that, but I worry more about people who are here on Skid Row. I now represent all of Skid Row. They redistricted our seats, and I represented a portion of it, but now it's all. And you know what? I say it's a blessing. It's a blessing because there's some very good people like yourselves that are here today that partnered with the County of Los Angeles and with obviously the mission here. LA Mission, you guys have been awesome. What can I say? You walk on water. How about that? And you brought the water here. and with this water box, I mean, it sounds so simple. Like, wow, who could have not thought of how important that is? But when you really think about it, and people are struggling 24 hours a day, and they don't have shelter, and they're out there, and they're trying to find their dignity and respect, here's a place where they can come. Another place among many that you all are going to be providing. And I do want to help elicit more support. So first of all, I want to say thank you to 501c3 for what you do. Give them a big round of applause. I know you're humble. I know you mean business, and so do I. It's not about accolades. It's about really getting the services delivered to people who really need them. And I want to also thank all of our partners. Cervicon, thank you so much. You do a lot of work with us in the county of Los Angeles and helping in so many ways. And I want to push you to do more. So let's get more boxes out here in other parts of the district that are also striving for dignity and respect. Southern Cal Gas, my goodness, thank you. We could always use your help. And that is something that I know I've come to learn in the past few years that I've been serving on the county board, but know how important it is that you also have a front face to our community to help provide them with the respect that they need. So whether it's getting warm water or hot water, they're gonna get clean water. And they can come up and get it, as was said earlier, either in their own thermos, or they can come up and get a disposable unit that's being provided as well. And they can go up to, I don't know, I guess it's 5 to 10 gallons or whatever it is. And I think it's something that some of us really don't think a lot about. But you know, what do doctors tell you? The best medicine is to stay hydrated, right? And we know it can be unbearable, even when it is raining, that people don't have access to necessities so essential, just like water, to keep your life, your sustainability up, your own personal mental health and well-being, and how important that is. So I've just come to appreciate more and more of the work that is being done here on Skid Row, and little things like this that we think are little are really big deals. They are a big deal for people that will be able to come here and know that it's a safe haven. And I was happy to provide a small amount of money, $25,000, that was matched by others to create a bigger basket and a bigger box. So I think all of this is for us to say that we need to do more. And I'm just delighted to be here. And we need to help the people here on Skid Row. And I'm so happy. I do want to give a shout out to our new mayor, Mayor Karen Bass, because she's going to be working with the county. We have been working, but we're going to work like this. We're going to be tight, and we're going to be tight with you all in making sure that we do the very best that we can, so that all of us can sleep well at night. So many people have so many issues here, and it didn't just start overnight. It just didn't happen when someone got elected. It's been because people have disregarded the humanity of people. People here live and work. There are beautiful things that go on here, and I've seen it firsthand. And a lot of it is just people giving back. And to me, it doesn't matter about it. The check is one thing, but the fact that other people can be motivated and moved to do more, that's what I'm aspiring for. And I know that that's what you are also thinking about as well. So I have some certificates, I believe, that I need to give out, that my staff has told me I have to do. So first of all, let me get LA Mission up here. A big round of applause for the man who walks on water. Every time I've been here, he's delivered wonderful things for this community. So thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. All right. Big round of applause. And 501c3, my new best friends. Woohoo! All right. He doesn't have to go to Flint. He can stay right here.
Okay, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Where's our staff? Dee, you want to go?
Thanks.
We need it. All right. Thank you. You're welcome. We want Cervicon now. Cervicon, thank you so much again for coming and being a part of our
This is
our
Lori
efforts.
Sewell. She's the CEO and president.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. All right, you're welcome. And last but not least, Southern Cal Gas. Thank you so much also. Thank you. Just in closing, I just want to say something in kind of memory of my mom. You know, my mom was an immigrant, came from Nicaragua, left poverty there. She was a teenager, didn't know where the heck she was going to end up, but she ended up coming to Los Angeles, met my dad here. But one thing she always told us about was about helping other people. And one way of doing that is by sharing even one drop of water. So in Spanish, we say un gotita. That's like a little drop of water can do so many things. It can spread so many seeds and growth and beautiful things. So for me, that analogy comes to mind right now. So Mom, we're doing good. Yes. Thank you. Yes. God bless you. Yes.
Thank you, Supervisor. And finally, for our closing remarks, Pastor Troy, welcome.
You know, everything's been said, and really, my heart is overwhelmed by the outpouring for this community. You know, I came here and accepted this assignment to make sure that we're transforming this community so people can see it as a community. People live here, and people can be sustained here. We don't have to have great high rises just one block over and then forget the people that live in this community. And so with intentionality, the Los Angeles Mission intends to step up and continue to partner. When you come back here in the summer, this entire area will be transformed into a community oasis, a garden that's going to outflow from our lobby area. Restrooms will be done, garden walls will be in place, Wi-Fi for them. We'll be partnering with our Music Matters initiative to really transform this entire community. We envision water boxes placed throughout this entire community, and we want to be very intentional about making that happen. And so making sure that people can just have a fresh glass of water, have shade where they can sit down and be refreshed, and have respite places. And so we have a vision here, and we want to lead in this community. We're so grateful that we have a supervisor that understands passion and vision, and that has been birthed in her own DNA, as you heard from her own testimony about how her mother instilled in her the values of service. And so we see that exemplified in our partners at Southern Cal and Cervicon. But we thank you for really coming and responding to a need and bringing fresh water, right? What water can do. It can either destroy, as we saw today, or it can bring new life. And so we want to make sure that people have a narrative of life restoring, life bringing here to Skid Row. So let it start with this drop of water, this little drop of water that's been deposited in this place. And with that, thank you on behalf of our board of directors, our staff, all of our volunteers that are here at the Los Angeles Mission. Thank you for coming out. We love you and we appreciate you.